Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Ghani from Junior High School of Imam and Nawawi, Pekanbaru. We'll tell you a wonderful story entitled The Emperor's New Clothes. Once upon a time, there was an emperor who was so obsessed with clothes and fashion that he spent all his gold in dress. He didn't trouble himself in the least about his people nor soldiers, nor did he care to go either to the theater or the council, except for the opportunities offered to him for displaying his new clothes. Time passed merrily in the large town which was his capital. One day, two mischievous rogues, calling themselves weavers, they claimed proudly that they knew how to weave items of the most beautiful colors and elaborate patterns. The clothes manufactured from which should have the wonderful property of remaining invisible to everyone, or who was extraordinarily simple in character. This must indeed be splendid clothes, thought the emperor. Had I such a suit, I might at once find out what men in my realms are unfit for their office, and able to distinguish the wise from the foolish. These items must be woven for me immediately. And he provided them with a large sums of gold so that they might begin their work. So the two pretended weavers set up two looms and affected to work very busily, though in reality they did nothing at all. They asked for the most delicate silk and the purest gold thread, put both into their own knapsacks, and continued their pretended work. I should like to know how the weaver is getting on with my clothes, thought the emperor to himself. But he rather embarrassed when he remembered that a simpleton or ones unfit for his office are unable to see the manufacture. To be sure, he thought, he had nothing to be rich in his own person. But yet, he preferred to send somebody else to bring him information about the weavers and their work. All people throughout the city had heard about the wonderful clothes, and all were anxious to learn how wise or how ignorant their neighbor might prove to be. I will send my faithful old minister to the weavers, said the emperor. He will be best able to see how the clothes looks, for he is a man of sense, and no one can be more suitable for his office than he is. So the faithful old minister went into the hall where the knaves were working with all their might at their empty looms. What can the meaning of this? Thought the old minister, opened his eyes very wide. I can see a little bit of thread on those looms. However, he didn't express that he thought aloud. The impostor requested him to come closer to their looms and then asked, How was the clothes, sir minister? The poor old minister looked and looked, yet he couldn't discover anything on those looms. What? Thought again. Is it possible that I am a simpleton? Can it be that I am unfit for my office? No, it must not say it either. I will never confess that I couldn't see the stuff. Well, sir minister, asked one of the knaves still pretending to work. How was the clothes? Oh, it's excellent, replied the old minister. The colors and the patterns. Yes, I will tell this to the emperor without delay, and how beautiful I think them. We shall be much obliged to you, said the impostors. And then they named the different colors and described the patterns of the pretended stuff. The old minister listened attentively to their words in order that he might repeat them to the emperor. And then the knave asked for more silk and gold, saying it was unnecessary to complete what they had to begin. The emperor himself wished to see the costly manufacture while it's still on the looms, accompanied by a select number of the officers of the court, among with the old minister who had already admired the clothes. They went into the crafty impostors. "If your majesty will be pleased, look at it. What a splendid design! What a glorious color!" Thought the old minister, for he imagined that everyone could see this exquisite piece of workmanship. "Truly," thought the emperor to himself, "I can see nothing. This is preposterous. I am not simpleton," he thought angrily. "Oh, the clothes is charming," he said aloud this time. "How beautiful!" the other officers yelled as his emperor was in his pretended admiration. The next day was the ceremony procession. The emperors came to the weavers, and the roach raised their arm as if in the act holding something up, saying, "If your imperial majesty will be graciously pleased to take off your clothes, we will fit on your new suit in front of the looking glass." So the emperor was undressed, and the roach pretended to array him his new suit in front of the looking glass. "Magnificent, charming, excellent!" resounded on all sides. "The canopy which is to be borne over your majesty in the procession is waiting," announced the chief masters of the ceremony. "I'm quite ready," replied the emperor. So now the emperor walked under his high canopy through the streets. Everyone standing by cried out, "Oh, how beautiful our emperor's new clothes!" "But the emperors wore nothing at all," said a little child. "What does a little child say?" had whispered to one and to another. "The emperors wore nothing, the emperors wore nothing," at last cried of common folk. Of course the emperor was vexed, for he knew that his people were right. However, the two mischievous rogues had left after the city and never came back. The end. Moral value from this tale is, first, don't let pride or fear keep us from speaking up. Second is, children will tell the truth when no one else will. That's all from my story. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.